Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about a couple of things to do with the last video I made, which was the LDN one. Now, aside of that, I'm going to chat about a couple of things that have come up this week from comments that I've had. If any of that is of interest to you, and if you're not bored already, then stick around. Right. Before I get on to the LDN subject, I'm standing here still doing my ironing. You must think I'm forever doing ironing, but, I do a lot. I got a comment from one of my lovely subscribers, and he said, Imogen, have looks always been important to you? Because you looked at your darling boy and you thought, oh my goodness, he's an old age pensioner. And I did. And he was, he was 69. And he looked like an old man at that point. He had those old men glasses on, and his hair was messy, and he was wearing an anorak, which really didn't do much for him. And I thought, oh gosh, you're an old age pensioner. But, I got in touch with him because I thought, well, it could be fate. And, it was. And to this day, I look at him and I can see he is just lovely. He has got better looking as he's got older because I love him more. And that's what changes. I mean, when he first met me, although he didn't know it, I was wearing this wig, and underneath I had shaved off all of my hair. I was watching a video the other day of Mel B. Ageless, and in it she said, in one of her videos, she was talking about a point at which her hair was falling out, like mine. It must be a thing. And she got the clippers and she clipped off all of her hair. Now, I did that when I was 53. And, I wasn't expecting to meet anybody. So I just clipped it all off. I was so upset. I was so disenfranchised with the whole hair thing going on. And, when your hair is falling out, it is dehumanizing, defeminizing. And you feel it, I felt ashamed. I did. I felt ashamed. And it's falling out now. I mean, normally it falls out from here, both sides, and then the rest gets thin. But now it's falling out right round to here. So it's really, well, there's no hair there. I mean, none. And I don't care what anybody says. When your hair starts falling out and you look at yourself, you do feel ashamed. You feel the obvious. You feel bald or going bald, and you worry. Now, whilst I am not worried quite as much because I've got this wig, it does make you worry. And I think the one reason why my hair tends to fall out is if I'm stressed. And I think it's having this channel. I actually think it is. I do get stressed about it. I try to monitor my stress levels. I think I'm not going to worry about it. but I do. I do because I'm doing it for Jack and Lily and wanting to earn money for them, for their education. So I feel the need to carry on. And also, I feel the need to carry on because there are some of you lovely, lovely people that do enjoy my ramblings. And I feel a duty to you because you give me your time freely. So I'm in that sort of quandary about, well, what do I do? And last week, because I'd worked so incredibly hard, ignoring my own body and jollying myself along, saying, come on, you can do it, Imo, you know, get on with it. Don't worry that you can't get up out of the chair, that will go. And that is what I normally do. I just think, oh, for goodness sake, get a grip. I do talk to myself rather harshly because it does drive me mad. I don't talk to anybody else like that, but myself, I am a really hard taskmaster. So I talk to myself like that, and I was working exceptionally hard all week. And then by the Monday, I suppose I could say I had a sort of crash. All that energy that I had expended, even though I felt like I was less stiff by Friday morning and that I had a little bit more energy left. My daughters say that I'm like an addict. You know, my energy comes in and I roll up my sleeve and I put a tourniquet around it and then I use it all up. And I say, well, I have to do that because I don't know when it's going to go. You know, my energy can go even if I were just sitting down. So if I want to get stuff done, and I always do, I've always got a list. I just do it. I just do it and I get on with it. And when I'm really tired and I'm walking up the stairs and I feel like my legs are full of concrete and they're very, very heavy to go up the stairs, I think, just one more step, just one more step. That's how I get on. But last week, or the week after I did all that work, let's put it that way. The week after I recorded myself doing all that work, I had no energy to do anything. I felt so incredibly washed out, flat, uninspired. I just didn't know what to do. I felt really, and then I get annoyed with myself. So, you know, I didn't make a video last week. I didn't put out a video last week. And then I thought, I looked at my figures for this month and Jack and Lily's money is going to be down. And I thought, you know, come on, get a grip. So here we are again. And I've put 2 videos out. But Liam, one of my subscribers, wrote to me and asked me if looks have always been important. Now, I have to say, if you could look at all my previous boyfriends, all of them, there would only be one that you could describe as conventionally good looking. And he was a complete a-hole. And the more I knew him, the uglier he got. It's true. When you look at people, initially you might think, oh, they're so good looking. But if they're ugly on the inside, if they're selfish and mean and all those sort of nasty things, they become ugly. And no, looks haven't been important to me. I've been out with, well, second lawyer man was short and fat and bald. So clearly not, oh, and he had yellow teeth. I mean, normally teeth are quite important. His were yellowish. So clearly not that important to me. The first lawyer, he was very tall, going bald, and he had one of those dimples in his chin, which I don't find attractive. So, not necessarily a good-looking person. He thought he was. He thought he was the bee's knees. My first husband certainly wasn't good-looking. He had little eyes. As my mum would call him, he's got piggy eyes. A bit like Putin. You know, those little tiny eyes. So he wasn't good-looking. No, I wouldn't say that I've always gone for good-looking men, because I haven't. You know, what has been really important for me is banter. The ability to talk to somebody and have a bit of banter. It's up there with breathing for me. And of course, once I met my darling boy, he is absolutely the best person at banter ever, ever, ever. Which is why we get on. And he has certainly become more and more handsome and amazing the longer we've been together, which is good, really, isn't it? As I digress, as I said, you know, when I first met my darling boy, I had this wig on, and he didn't know that underneath it, my hair was about half an inch short. So there came a time, a couple of months down the line, when we became intimate, and I couldn't wear this to bed in case I woke up and it was all wonky. I mean, can you imagine that? So I had to just tell him. And he said, I would love you even if you were bald, which was nice. So it doesn't matter to him. I think you can meet somebody and you can fall in love with their essence, with the person that they are rather than their looks. And once you've fallen in love with the person that you are, that defies time and aging and everything, which is just as well. You know, my darling boy and I have been now together for, this October we'll have been together for 15 years, which has gone in a nanosecond. And, you know, I'm 15 years older, and I don't feel I'm wearing that well, frankly. So there's that. The other thing is that I've bought myself a new wig, But this, well, it hasn't arrived yet. I went onto a website in England called Valentine Wigs, and they guarantee their prices are the lowest around. And if you have a medical condition like alopecia areata, which I do have, you can put your medical condition down, and then you don't have to pay the VAT, which does cut down 20% off the price. So I put my doctor's name and address and so on and so forth on the form that's on their website, and so I did get the reduction. And this platinum blonde wig, I'm going to call it my Debbie Harry wig. I've got that on order. It's been back ordered because it must be in high demand, and it's got the rooted, the dark roots, so it looks like the roots are growing out. But then again, Debbie Harry's roots always showed, so I've got it going on there. So I'm waiting for that, and I'm still waiting for the bespoke wig to be made for me. So that's quite exciting. I do tend to sit and look at different wigs whilst I'm watching the television, and I've got quite a few in my basket, and at some point I may well purchase those ones too from Valentine Wigs, because they do seem to be a bit cheaper than other places. And I can't remember how much this one was, but I will see if I can screenshot a picture of it and show you in this video. The other thing is that one of my gorgeous subscribers was talking about having fibromyalgia, and I do know that low-dose naltrexone does actually treat that really well. So I'm going to see if I can link that particular video in the description below, so you can watch that if you've got fibro. And I am going to show you, I'm going to do a screen record of how you can go onto the ldnresearchtrust.org website and find out the prescribers in your country and in your area, because it does go all over the world. I'm such a believer in LDN and the benefits of it. And in England, I think I pay £31 for the capsules, but the medicine is only just over £20 per month, which is nothing for the good that it does you. It's a pity they won't prescribe it on the NHS, but there you go. But I suspect it's just as affordable in the USA. So I'm going to do that just to show you, because people don't tend to go to websites and do their own research. And the other thing that I looked up, because one of my other lovely subscribers said that she had splits at the corner of her mouth. And I had seen some article about that. And it does seem that it's a B vitamin deficiency, plus zinc, plus iron. So if you are suffering from that, have a look at it on the web. You'll find out that I think it's B2, B3 and another B. So probably you could get a B multivitamin and take that, because most people are deficient in B12 and that's absolutely vital for you. Get that and take zinc, and If that doesn't get rid of it, add in iron and see if that helps. I mean, it really is up to us to try to look after ourselves. I have been very disappointed in doctors in the past, especially when you're old, especially when you're older. You get the phrase, well, it's wear and tear, well, it's this, well, it's your age. But actually, you might be older, but it doesn't mean to say you have to have all of these things. And there must be something for it. One of my lady patients, she's in her 80s and she has chronic pain in her ankles. And obviously, I can identify with that totally. Now, she is being fobbed off constantly with codeine. They aren't looking into the reason why she has got all of this pain in her ankles. And I just think it's wrong. Doctors don't care sufficiently, and especially if you're a woman. It's so entrenched in their medical profession not to bother about women rather than how they bother about men. I mean, who has ever known a man to downplay a cold? Most men, when they have a cold, they are dying, literally. They've got flu. They're dying, goodness knows what else, and yet the woman could have exactly the same virus and still be doing the housework, the washing, the ironing, getting the children ready for school, taking them to school while the husband says he's dying. It's just not right. That's enough of my rant. You're probably bored now. The other thing, just one more thing. The other thing I've noticed is that I am so impatient when I am watching a video and creators almost from the get-go say, oh, and by the way, if you like this video, drop a like, drop a this, drop a that, and because it's important to my channel, it's this, it's that, this is whatever else. And do you know what I've started doing? I go to another video. I find it intensely irritating. I am so glad I have stopped doing it. Oh, and that's another thing. I had a message from Karen who said that she went to somebody she was subscribed to and found out that she was no longer subscribed to them. So she told them and then she resubscribed straight away. Now somebody in YouTube had stopped her being subscribed to that channel. It's difficult enough getting subscribers without the YouTube, monster just clicking you off. So, what is going on? I am no longer taking it personally when my subscribers drop off. I just think, oh, there you go, YouTube, you're doing it again. And the last thing is that Tracy, Life in the Wild West, only needs 3 more subscribers to get to her 1,000, which I'm so thrilled about. Thank you so much if you've gone over there and subscribed. The next thing we've got to do is get her to the 4,000 hours. But it's a work in progress. I'm going to put that video up now so that you can watch it and see how you can get LDN in your area, in your country. We are on the ldnresearchtrust.org website. When you come onto the website, you hover over these little bits and you can see all the information that pops up below. These are quite good because if you're worried about taking LDN, you can click on that and it would tell you all about LDN. But that's not what we're here for. We are here to find out how you can get it. So you go to LDN prescriptions, find a pharmacist or find a prescriber. Click on find a prescriber. Then for America, we'll go here and we'll whiz down and we'll go to the USA, and let's go to California, for example. Oh, and there's one in Oklahoma City. I don't know if that's in California or not. There's this one here, in El Segundo. So this one, telemed consultations, is a great way, it says, of obtaining an LDN prescription. If you don't have a prescriber close to you, or you are unable to travel very far. Let's click on that. Right. So you can click on that and you can find, actually you can't see it, but it goes United Kingdom, Uruguay, USA, Puerto Rico, USA, Virgin Islands, and it ends with Venezuela right down at the bottom. So there are plenty of places. We'll go to the USA. Oh, we've done that already. Let's go to New Zealand. Look, Dixon's Chemist website. Oh, that's the one I get mine from, in fact. So Dixon's Chemist will supply New Zealand. Well, I never knew that. Let's try for Australia now. See what they do there. Australia. Dixon's Chemist sends them to Australia as well. My word. Let's see if they send them to Canada. Ah, they sent it to Canada. Let's see, France. It seems that the pharmacist that I get mine from, which is in Glasgow, sends to lots of countries. Republic of Ireland. Yep, Republic of Ireland. My word, they are busy people. What about Mexico? Ah, I think they don't send to America. Well, I know they don't send to America because I asked them for a friend. Oh, they even send it to Switzerland. So, frankly, all you need to do is you need to go on there, go on to LDN prescriptions, go on to find a prescriber, and then you can go to telemed consultations and you'll be able to find yourself getting LDN before you know it. You do have to prove that you do have the condition that you do have. So if you've got a doctor's letter, or if you can get a doctor's letter from your doctor, GP, whatever, your consultant, then that does help. I have never seen any of these people. I have always got my prescription over the telephone. Anyway, I do hope that helps you. Oh, and I meant to show you this. Now, they've got LDN documentaries. And I clicked on this earlier just for research. I have watched all of these. Very, very helpful. LDN and Cancer, The Game Changer, is an amazing video. If you've got Lyme disease, you need to watch that. the LDN story is a lot of doctors talking about how they use LDN in their clinical practice. Plus, there is a young woman, a young mother actually, well, she was when she made this video, and she had fibromyalgia and she just had twins and she was in terrible agony. And she started on LDN and was able to look after her twins after that. These documentaries are available in 6 languages, but it was really worth watching these shows. Also, if you take notice of what the titles are of these documentaries, I know they are available, most of them anyway, on YouTube. So especially this one, I've watched this several times with different people, and I've watched it on YouTube, and it's utterly brilliant. So there you go. There's lots of information on this website that will help you, especially if you don't know what it is. Look, there you go. What is LDN? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I do hope this is of help, and I'll see you in the next video. And in the meantime, if you have been, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.